time for that segment, and that's the Daily 3. That's 3 questions, 3 minutes each. Take it away, Sam.
I looked at the calendar. It was June 1st. That means we are 3 months from today away from the Gophers football season. So I got thinking, Ron, what are the chances that the Gophers football team ends up with more wins than the Minnesota Vikings? Different length of season, so it would have to be a really good Gophers season. But is that possible at all in your mind?
So originally when I saw this question, I was like, there's no way in hell. Like, it's just, you got to get 10 wins in Gophers, and that's big. You're Big Ten champs, most likely, if you get 10 wins. But then there's also, so this thing, are you talking regular season? Or are you adding the bowl game into this?
Yeah, let's put bowl game in it.
Okay, so Big Ten championship possibly, bowl game in there. So now the Gophers possibly playing 14 games. Could they get 12 wins out of that? Yeah, possibly. But here's the thing about the Gopher schedule. So if you look at the Gopher schedule early on, just like any other sport. So you look at football, you look at basketball, you look at baseball, and we talked about the Twins with Aldridge Martin. It's about starting off fast. And so when you look at the Gophers football schedule, the big thing is early on. They got the Jerry Kill game that everybody's talking about with New Mexico State. You got Western Illinois. That's a win. You got Colorado. They killed Colorado last year, and now Colorado comes to Minnesota. The goal for the Gophers and Daryl Thompson-Balt is win the games you're supposed to win. So I think that's a winnable game as well. You look at Michigan State. That's going to be a tough one. Purdue is winnable. Illinois is winnable. Penn State, tough one. Rutgers is winnable. Minnesota, Nebraska, win. Northwestern. Northwestern's not what they used to be. And they have to come here, so you take out that boring Northwestern atmosphere. And so I think that's a win. Iowa, Wisconsin, those are the question ones. So those 2 you take out. Penn State you take out. Michigan State you take out. Those are 4 that I think are going to be absolute battles. And so if they were to lose those 4, that now puts them at 8-4. The Vikings ceiling or floor is 7. When you think about they play the Lions twice and the Bears twice, that's 4 there. And then you throw in some of those other games that you just feel like the Vikings should win. I say there's probably a 20% chance, 25% chance the Gophers do it because they have to get 10 and they only have 12 games. So you got to beat Iowa, Wisconsin, Penn State, or Michigan State. You got to go 2-2 versus those 4 juggernauts. That's the problem with college football. There's not as lot, whereas the Vikings have 17 games now, 18 weeks, 17 games. That's more opportunities to win. So that's why I'm giving them a 20 to 25% chance of doing it. I did change my mind. I had them as a 12-win team to start. Then, the New Orleans Saints got better with Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry. And then you look at both Browns going to the Eagles and the Cardinals. So those 2 teams got better. I had those as wins. So those changed in my mind. So I think I changed the Vikings to about a 10-win team, 10-7. It's going to come down to some field goals, maybe get to 11, 12 wins, but 10-win season. So I think, 20% chance because I think the Vikings are going to get 10 wins. The Gophers have to hustle and be great to get to 10. And that's the only difference in that one.
Yeah, I think the path is for the Gophers to go 9-3 and then win a bowl game.
Yep.
So that'd get them to 10. And then it's very, if the Vikings are a 10-win team in your eyes, I mean, who says they couldn't drop down to 9?
Right.
With a couple bad breaks. I think that's kind of the season they've had a lot under Kirk Cousins is that 8-9 range. So if they wind up at 9 again, and the Gophers go 10-3, that's a great Gophers season, by the way. And hopefully some of those 10 are trophy games.
Right.
But hopefully the 3 aren't just losing to Iowa, Wisconsin, and Nebraska. I don't know who else. Who are they playing? Michigan this year? They're not. Right?
No, Michigan State.
Not. Okay, so no little brown jug.
Yep.
The Twins, Luis Arraez continues to stay red hot. After yesterday's afternoon game, he was hitting .361, and he was second in the batting race in the American League. Could Arraez make a run at the batting title?
He's not far off. I mean, 350. He's batting 351. The other guy's 352, 356, and 363. So it's a close race right now. Again, average, because if you go down to average, it's averaging the whole time. And so you got these guys down at like 293, Cabrera, that's my guy from Detroit, 293 right now. Could he have a tear and just go off? Yeah, he can go off. Will it happen? No, it's not going to happen. And there's the problem with it. If he goes on a tear, he has to continue that to get his average up because he started off at 293, which is still good though. Like, let's not be mistaken. Like, guys in that top 25, top 30, they're all good. You just have some guys that are head and shoulders. Like, it's like being graded on the curve. You know, you might have an A minus, but somebody else has 100% because they're a nerd and they're super smart. And now you're screwed. And now you drop down. So that's what this is about. It's about the guys that start off fast, staying hot, not having bad nights. Cabrera and the Twins Arraez, they're playing. So they get to see each other back to back. So that's going to be some good hitting there. I mean, we know the Tigers already got them. But you know, the Twins can get hot and stay hot. So yeah, I think he could do it. I mean, the thing is, like, he's in striking distance. He just has to stay hot and not let somebody else get out there and him have a slump.
Yeah, I think he's so consistent. I think he could definitely be in the mix, but he could very well win the on-base percentage title. Right now, he's number 1 at 442, and he's pretty far ahead of Manny Machado in second. Arraez is unbelievable. He's just so disciplined at the plate. I love watching him. Ron, do you like high-scoring hockey? Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals last night, Avalanche 8, Edmonton 6. What? And it's not even the highest scoring game in these NHL playoffs. There was a 9-6 game between Edmonton and Calgary in the previous series. Goals galore. Connor McDavid's been at the center of it. The Avalanche are obviously pretty potent offensively. Ron, will an 8-6 hockey game get you into the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah, of course. Like, when you see that, I mean, like I said, I think I told you this. I was trying to stay up and watch that and watch, you know, this. And the pregame was just too long. I was already tired from my daughter's softball games. It got cold last night. So, when you come in from the cold, you just naturally want to go to sleep. So eventually, I don't even remember. I fell asleep with my clothes on the bed. Like, I took a shower, but all my clothes I had not put away yet. Like, it was like I looked like a college kid that passed out. Like, I was just tired. And me and my wife, we both were tired. And so, you look at Connor McDavid, he had, he was responsible for 3 points. He ended up having 2 assists as well. But the Avalanche, I think that's the key. They got 8 goals from 7 people. They're doing what people wanted the Wild to do was they needed Kirill Kaprizov needed somebody. We were looking like, where's Fiala? You got to have somebody else to help him out. And this is what the Avalanche, they got a bunch of guys, not just one. You got Connor McDavid that had 1 goal with the Oilers. You had Evander Kane that had 1. I mean, same with them. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys as well. Like, it's not one guy on these teams. And maybe that's the answer to championship hockey. You got to have multiple goal scorers on your team. Like, one guy is great. Like, Steve Yzerman, Crosby, great. But Connor McDavid has the luxury of having other guys helping him out. Same with Cole McCurr, has other guys helping him out. McCarr. That's the key. Like, you got to have other guys to help you out to be sustainable, because if you score 4 goals, they're going to attack you next game. They can't attack one guy on the Avalanche now because they're like, crap, all 7 guys can score. That's tough. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna, if it's on and I'm not tired, I will watch it just to see, because that's crazy. That's exciting to even be at, because I was there for a high scoring Wild game and I'm like, man, this is what hockey should be about. This is like 6-8. You can get a lot of like wishy-washy on the fence hockey fans to watch and go to hockey if it's always going to be 6-8. None of that 1-0 stuff. Stop letting these guys just do stuff they shouldn't do. Protect the scores, put the guys in the penalty box, get special teams on the floor, let it get fast paced. 4-on-4, who cares? Do it. Like, let's get some goals out there because it makes it fun, like you see.
Yeah, and it's hockey, so I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the big storylines nationally, but on the other side, in the Eastern Conference, the Lightning are going for a three-peat. I mean, they've won it 2020, 2021. They're playing for the right to go for a three-peat. That's a huge deal in professional sports. So I'm watching that Eastern Conference series pretty avidly as well. All of New York is captivated by the Rangers right now. Rangers Lightning is going to be awesome. I hope Edmonton can stay in this series and that the Avalanche just don't, steamroll them, because I want to see more McDavid. I want to see more of this blossoming rivalry. So I hope it goes 6 or 7 games.